be able to see what I'm going to do. I was privileged for those 47 years to have a job that I loved and enjoyed. I was blessed to have the opportunity. 31 high school years, boys, 16 college years for women. Frequently asked the question, what's the biggest difference? I thought it was gender. Both tried hard. Also, we had the 30-second shot clock in college. That was the difference, too. I want to thank my family, who's a great help. My wife, Sue, who's here. And if I say much more than that, I'll probably be in trouble. My kids, Tammy, Eric, and Tara. Tammy and Eric are here. How well I treated them, I guess, could be proved by the fact that Tammy and Eric, we moved just before their senior year in high school, and they still speak to me. I had several different high school jobs, plus a lot of other jobs to try to make ends meet through the years. I played on a high school team that lost every game. And that was my junior year. And we consolidated with another school that went 3-21 that same year. You can use your math there and see how many wins between the two against somebody else was coming back. I have to tell you, I was probably an insignificant factor for that team. In other words, I was not a good player. But, as Coach Thomas said, you learn to observe, listen, and learn. And I learned that at an early age. Went to college at Southwest Baptist Junior College a long time ago. My sophomore year, I was the team manager for Coach Rex Grady. It was at that time I decided I wanted to try coaching. I finished my college at Drury College and later earned a master's degree at Pittsburgh State. When I graduated from Drury for a job, and I went out and applied for several. I went for an interview at a school called Fairplay. The superintendent met me with a contract on the school's desk. I would like to have thought that was because I was a very talented and much desired applicant. But I think the truth was that I was the only applicant. I took the job. I found out later that they had won 5 games the year before, and everybody graduated but one, including several that played on the JV team. I will tell you this year that we won 7 games that year. I look back at that, and maybe that was one of my better jobs of coaching. I really don't know, but we weren't very talented. We did beat Bolivar that year, which for fair play was a major achievement. I guess for our team, it was a major achievement. It took 4 overtimes. I think we just outlasted them. That was it. They ran out of gas before we did, and we had one player that threw in 35 or 40 points out of the 60 that we had, and that seemed to be enough. I don't know why they didn't guard him better. The 4th year I was there, we won a regional. Back in those days, there were 16 teams in regionals. And in order to win that regional, we had to play. We were seeded 3rd. We started on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then you got a break of 1 day and played the state sectional game on Monday. A lot of teams did that. Today, of course, it's 3 weeks. Then it was 2. You had to win 8 games, and if you started in the middle of the week, the first week, you had your work cut out for you. Later on, I moved to another school for the salary because I had a student loan to pay back. That's not a new thing today, even though people say it was. I had one for then. We had a season where we went 0-18. We got beat 78-29 in the 7th place game in our conference tournament. We had 14 games left to play. Well, there were 7 other teams in our conference, 2 each. I looked at the situation, and there was no escape. I needed a salary. So we went back to work and taught fundamentals for real, not just lip service like many people do. Seriously, I simplified everything that we did offensively and defensively. We made an effort to wear the orange off the basketballs we had. I think the nets were safe. We didn't wear out any gloves. I mean, when you get it be 78-29, you're not wearing the nets out very much. Before the end of the year, we reached the point where the other teams couldn't clear their bench before halftime. Then it was the 3rd quarter. And by the week before the district, we were playing a game, and we got possession of the ball with 2 minutes to go. The score was 55-54. That's a phenomenal scoring game for us, by the way, 54 points. We were down. So you do what's logical there. We held the ball. I looked at those kids in the face. We worked so hard on fundamentals. I owed it to them. Let's don't turn it over and lose, because we might have done that. Let's see if we can hang on to it for 2 minutes and win this game. Well, with 5 seconds to go, they fouled us. I think the free throw shooter that went to the line was about 28% or so. And I know that we ran little plays like you did too, through the years, to rebound missed free throws. Well, anyway, he steps up the line, swishes 2. My gosh, we're ahead by 1. They throw the ball in up to half court. Some guy launches it, banks it in, and we lost by 1 point. And the next week, completed an undefeated season, although we did lead in the district game for a while. But for the rest of my career, I thought fundamentals were the point that needed to be driven home. And as a teacher, coach, that's what we did. I moved on to another small school, Walnut Grove, which was the turning point probably for both us and them. They had 22 straight losing seasons. They were the smallest school in their conference, which is the old Green County League. And they occupied a cellar most of the time. Well, the first thing I did was add one season onto that to make it 23. But that was the end of that. We completed that year. I had 6 years of coaching, 8 years of coaching. 6 of them were losing seasons. 6 out of 8. Most people with a record like that would have got out and found some kind of a sensible job to do for the rest of their life. But we kept working. That school had players. They needed a coach who would believe that. We won the last 5 years I was there, including the last one, it was 29-2. and we lost in overtime in the state quarterfinals. For the rest of my career, 39 more years, 38 of them were winning seasons. I only had one year that we lost more than we won. I have to admit, my son and another player that was here somewhere, he was, played on that team. But that loss was in the sectional game. We had to win the district to get up to have a 500 record. I had other stops at Camden, Mount Vernon, which is at one of those places, where we won 2 district titles each year, and then finished my high school career at Willard with 11 seasons. I got to coach in the Central Ozarks Conference, which has some of the best high school coaches in the state of Missouri, including one sitting over here, that we did battle many times. We did get 3rd in the state in 1988. That was my only time in my 31 years of coaching high school to reach the Final Four. That team, by the way, was seeded 3rd starting the district. So we had to win a couple of upsets there, plus a couple more upsets in the first 2 rounds of the state to reach the Final Four. And I thought we got a terrible call in the semifinals that we should have won the game, and they took the basket away from us. And I really believe, that's can't say it, can't play there, don't go there with that one. Anyway, we got to play the Tournament of Champions, some of you are familiar with that, in 1992. We won 3rd place, which is pretty impressive considering the level of talent that was there. Beating Raytown South in the 3rd place game in 3 overtimes. This was really a wonderful experience. By the way, I went 2-0 against Bud Lathrop, who was a phenomenal coach, high school basketball in Missouri. I finished my career in high school in 1995 and retired. By the way, I think I was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame here in Missouri in 1992. Some of you weren't even started coaching. That's a long time ago. I have to do the math and figure that out. Fortunately, in 1971, a new law was passed called Title IX, which allowed girls and women to play sports legally, and if schools wouldn't do it, then there were legal repercussions for that. I didn't know it at the time, but that would play a big part for me. In 1997, I was approached about coaching the women's basketball team at College of the Ozarks. I wasn't sure that I wanted a job, but they convinced me. All my kids had gone there and graduated there. And so I accepted the job, tried to get out of it by asking for too much money, but they paid it. So I had to take the job. That doesn't always work, by the way. Most of you at workplaces have a pretty good idea about that. College of the Ozarks is a great place to work and coach. I like their philosophy. The nickname Hard Work U. I was fortunate enough to have many talented players, a whole bunch of whom are here today, I think. 5 two-time first-team All-Americans at the NAIA level. Most players we had bought into what we did. We kept it simple. We played man-to-man defense and simple offense. We had 2 hours to practice every day. That was to get on the floor, practice, get off the floor, to be supper, or pardon me, dinner, if you're more sophisticated, and dress out time, dress in time was included in that 2 hours. They had classes at college at Ozarks, all the kids worked 3 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week, including all the athletes. And we did that. We had a simple offense and a simple defense. We just went out and guarded you. And we worked, again, at being fundamental on both ends of the floor. Every single day. Including probably the days before we played for the national championship. We were doing some kind of fundamentals at the same time. We qualified, I think as she said, 15 of the 16 years that I was there, played in the national tournament in Sioux City. First year we went, we had a remarkable experience getting there, ice and snow all the way. Played one game, lost, and came home. Got beat by Walsh University from Ohio. I thought we were as good as they were. Then when we got home, I followed the results. The next day they won. The next day they won. The next day they won. Lo and behold, they won the national championship. And the guy that coached them is now somewhere in Division I and in the NCAA tournament. But I thought at the time, we're good enough to play at this level. And we were fortunate enough to find players, like I said, many of whom are sitting here. You know, I had a 5'8" post and a 6'2" guard the year we reached, the first year we reached the finals. That's right, 5'8" post, they're both right over there. And there's another All-American set right between them. She was a great post. The guard led the nation in rebounding and blocked shots. But she was also one of the top 3-point shooters in the country. So we had this unique little thing. We got the rebound, ran the ball down the floor. She ran down, looked for the open spot. You were guarding her with a post, you were in trouble. How many post players are used to going out and covering somebody 9 feet away from the basket? She was great at finding the place. We were great at giving her the ball. And she knocked down threes at the tune of almost 50% for that year. And if not, if she missed it, the 5'8" post got the rebound and put it back in. Because they had to have some guard covering her. I think as a coach, and these guys verify that, you do what you need to do to learn. You evaluate your material and you put people where they belong. And I think that was one of the things that I did very well. I'd like to thank all of the helpers that I had through the years. It's not possible to mention them all, but I want to say thank you. A couple of the coaches that work for me now have their own college jobs, and both have been in national tournaments before. I owe a lot of the success to the people that helped me coach. I've always believed that wins and losses take care of themselves if you do the right things and prepare. Agreed? That's what it's all about. You got to do the right things and prepare. My main job, as I saw it, is to help kids become useful citizens and adults and have a good work ethic at what they did. That's it. I'd like to be more prophetic than that, but I can't be. That's it. I'd like to thank UECA for this great honor that they have bestowed upon me. I know several of the people that have won it before, and I think it is truly a lifetime achievement.